Dear brothers and sisters, and all Africans across the diaspora, we proudly welcome you to another intellectual presentation from His Excellency, the Jedi.
What's up, everybody? This is the Jedi. Greetings, greetings, greetings. However, this is not yet the official return of the Jedi. As you know, our blessed holy month of Ramadan has come to an end. And as I always tell you, it's bittersweet for Muslims because while you are elated that you made it to the end of Ramadan, you're also a bit sad because you pray that you will live to see the next one. So it's always a little bittersweet. But we are now officially done with Ramadan. And as of Sunday, for most of us, some parts of the world, it was Monday, whatever. And I'm here now to announce to you that it is my intention, inshallah, that we will be live tomorrow on Thursday with a live stream. I don't know what time, but you should be checking. For your notifications, make sure your notification bells are on. Double check your subscriptions to the channel, etc., etc. If you're listening to us for the first time here on the channel, then we invite you to subscribe to the channel and join our family. We will be honored if you would join us. Also, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, everybody. Thumbs up. So we'll be live on Thursday, inshallah. And there's a lot that we have to deal with. There's a lot of things that I wanted to deal with during Ramadan, but it just wasn't possible because some things I don't want to get myself into a certain energy space, and y'all know how I get. So it was better for me and the universe if I just chilled out. And so but I wanted to use this as an opportunity to at least do something while I'm making the announcement. I didn't want to just like, I'll be live on Thursday, bye everybody. You know, I could have done that, but I thought I would also find a couple minutes to use the time wisely. I purposely titled this video "The Greatest President Ever" as sort of a double entendre, really, an irony, and a what could have been. And so it's provocative. I've spoken about this before in the past. You know, I've said that Donald Trump could have been the greatest president that ever was in America. All this bluster that he puts forward and these exaggerations and fantasies and lies could all have been true. He's lied about everything. He even said after his first inaugural, when he first had his first inauguration, he was trying to say the very next day that it was the biggest inauguration in the history of the country. It exactly was not. It wasn't even close. And everything that he claims he's done, and he was number one on this, and he's the greatest on that, and all that, and none of it's true, but it could have been. It could have been. Him coming in with his I don't give a damn attitude, and people accepting that, laid the pathway for him to do anything. Instead, he got seduced into either showing his true colors, or he got seduced into adopting uh, the overall tone and true heart space of white people. He got pulled down by this xenophobic, racist, uh, fascist um, nonsense. Suddenly he wants to be loved, and and all of that he could have been loved. He could have been loved. Now he's known as the guy who desperately wants to be loved at any cost. And he looks pathetic doing it when the love for him could have been organic, and it would have made sense, and it would have been widespread. He could have taken that and done anything he wanted to do, and he could have done all the right things. He could have cleaned up corruption. He could have established universal health care across the country. He could have established a universal basic income, even. You think about all the major key issues. He could have just gangstered over everything, and his base would have gone with it because they're dumb as fuck anyway, and they think he's brilliant. So they would have thought, well, he must know something I don't know, which is how they think anyway. And they also think he speaks for them. So use it. But he used it the wrong way. So he flip-flops on everything to the point where you don't know if anything he says is the truth. But there was a time when you could actually believe him. And I always cite this interview. This was long before he was trying to be anybody's politician and all this. This was just him, businessman dude, running his own corporation and minding his business, but would have things to say about politics, etc. He's also one of the only people, and certainly the only person with their full chest, that defended Michael Jackson when it was the thick of the scandal for Michael. He didn't have it to do. He wasn't going to get paid to do it. There was no reason for him to do it. There was nothing that served him. He just did it because it was the truth. He said he's not a pedophile. My kids have hang around him. My kids have spent time with him. He's a great guy. I mean, on and on he went with glowing things to say about Michael, Again, there was nothing for him to gain. It was just the truth. That's it. Even after 9/11, there's a video that exists where he was down at ground zero, in quotations, and there he was. And remember, this is a guy who builds stuff for a living. So there he was saying something else had to be involved here. He was down there with the mayor at the time, Pataki or something. Yeah, I think it's Pataki, and he was saying, this is nothing but dust. There's no buildings here anywhere. I mean, on and on he went. All right, there's many things I could cite that would give one a positive view of his character. Even if it wasn't real, it was the right things at the time. Here he was speaking with Wolf Blitzer on CNN about the war in Iraq and being critical of beady-eyed Bush's administration. Hear what he had to say here.
Give us your assessment. Is there a way out? The war is a total disaster. It's a catastrophe, nothing less. It is such a shame that this took place. In fact, I gained a lot of respect for our current president's father by the fact that he had the sense not to go into Iraq. He won the war and then said, let's not go the rest of the way. And he turned out to be right. And Saddam Hussein, whether they like him or didn't like him, he hated terrorists. He'd shoot and kill terrorists. When terrorists came into this country...
There he was telling the truth about Saddam Hussein. Whether they liked him or hated him, this guy hated terrorists. There he was telling it.
Like him or didn't like him, he hated terrorists. He'd shoot and kill terrorists. When terrorists came into this country, which he did control and he did dominate, he would kill terrorists. Now it's a breeding ground for terrorists. So, look, the war is a total catastrophe.
Who do you blame?
And they have a civil war going on.
Who do you blame?
Well, there's only one person you can blame, and that's our current president. I mean, obviously, Rumsfeld was a disaster, and other people that are giving him advice have been a disaster. And Condoleezza Rice, who's a lovely woman, but she never makes a deal. She doesn't make deals. She waves. She gets off the plane. She waves. She sits down with some dictator, 45-degree angle. They do the camera shot. She waves again. She gets back on the plane. She waves. No deal ever happens. So, I mean,
You got to close the deal at some point.
you got to make deals. The world is dying to make deals, and we don't have the right people doing it.
The Vice President, Dick Cheney.
Well, he's obviously a very hawkish guy on the war. He said the war was going fantastically just a few months ago. And, you know, it's just very sad. I don't know if they're bad people. I don't know what's going on. I just know that they got us into a mess, the likes of which this country has probably never seen. It's one of the great catastrophes of all time. And perhaps even worse, the rest of the world hates us. You go.
It's one of the great catastrophes of all time, he says. Hear this now.
It's one of the great catastrophes of all time. And perhaps even worse, the rest of the world hates us. You go throughout Europe. I travel. I do deals all over the world. The Europeans hate us. You go to Germany. You go to England. You go to places that, you know, we didn't have problems with. They all hate the Americans because of what's happened. We had a chance after September 11th to be the most popular, for the first time ever, to be the most popular nation on earth. And we
blew it. And I'm making the same claim. He could have been the most popular president ever, but he blew it. But he blew it. He just blew it. He completely blew it, dude. Remember, when they ran for president the first time, on the Republican side, when they have their primaries and their debates, there was like 80 people standing up there on that damn stage. They always put him in the middle. He was the loudest, and he was the one willing to tell the truth. Exposing people right there for what they were worth and all of it. He blew it, dude. A total train wreck. But he's right. America could have been the most popular country after that. There was all this sympathy for America, and there it was. And then it all went straight to hell. Because instead of using it as a time to unite and to make amends around the world, they just blustered up their chest even more. Like, look how big and bad we are. It's why they can never get along with anybody on the planet. Let's go on. Take it back.
You know, we didn't have problems with. They all hate the Americans because of what's happened. We had a chance after September 11th to be the most popular, for the first time ever, to be the most popular nation on earth, and we blew it. Everybody, for the first time, people felt sympathy. I'm not saying it's a great thing to have sympathy in terms of yourself, but for the first time, they felt a sympathy and a love for this country because of what happened. And we blew it.
How does the United States get out of this situation? Is there a,
how do they get out?
Way out?
You know how they get out? They get out. That's how they get out.
See, that's what I mean. Like every politician, when they, because this was the big question, how do you get, I just don't know how we get out. You have to protect the troops, and you have to watch how you do it, and we just can't, and all that. He's the first one to set up there and said, you know how you get out? You get out. That's it. Like I had been screaming that at my television for years, and it was just a bunch of bluster and balloon talk and shit, Oh, we just don't know how we'd get out. We just don't know. And we'd have to slowly draw down the troops and this and just get out. And it was so refreshing to hear somebody say that. You know how you get out? You get out. I love that.
For the first time, they felt a sympathy and a love for this country because of what happened. And we blew it.
How does the United States get out of this situation? Is there a,
how do they get out?
Way out?
You know how they get out? They get out. That's how they get out. Declare victory and leave. Because I'll tell you, this country is just going to get further bogged down. They're in a civil war over there, Wolf. There's nothing that we're going to be able to do with a civil war. They are in a major civil war, and it's going to go to Iran, and it's going to go to other countries. They are in the midst of a major civil war, and there's nothing. And by the way, we're keeping the lid on a little bit, but the day we leave anyway, it's all going to blow up. And Saddam Hussein will be a nice person compared to the man, and it will be a man, it will not be a woman, that we understand. People say, oh, gee, you didn't give the women a chance. It will be a man. Compared to the person that takes over for Saddam Hussein, he will be considered a nice person. This guy will be the meanest, the worst guy, and he'll have one thing. He will hate America, and he'll use that to flame. So, I mean, this is a total catastrophe, and you might as well get out now because you're just wasting time. And
Truth. Truth, damn it, truth. Everything he said here absolutely came to fruition. 100%. 100%.
as well get out now because you're just wasting time. And lives. You know, nobody talks about the soul.
And lives. You see? I mean, this was someone speaking the truth and with compassion even. You're like, where's this dude at? Where'd he go? Have they replaced him? Is this the real Trump that we're seeing now? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know.
Lives. You know,
I love
nobody
how he
talks about the
punctuated
soldiers.
that there too. You're wasting time and lives.
I mean, this is a total catastrophe, and you might as well get out now because you're just wasting time. And lives. You know, nobody talks about the soldiers that are coming back with no arms and no legs. And I saw at Mar-a-Lago on Mondays, I make Mar-a-Lago my club that you know about.
In Palm Beach.
I make that twice now. On a Monday, I let returning Iraqi injured soldiers come to the premises. The most beautiful people I've ever seen, but they're missing arms and legs. They're with their wives. Sometimes they're with their girlfriends, and the tears are coming down the faces of these people. I mean, the thousands and maybe hundreds of thousands, and the Iraqis that have been just maimed and killed. This war is a horrible thing. Now, President Bush says he's religious.
And he
And yet
wasn't afraid
400
to also acknowledge the suffering on the Iraqi side. Not to mention the Iraqis, he said there. You see, where did this guy go? Where'd he go? Where's he hiding?
Thousands and maybe hundreds of thousands, and the Iraqis that have been just maimed and killed. This war is a horrible thing. Now, President Bush says he's religious, and yet 400,000 people, the way I count it, have died, and probably millions have been badly maimed and injured. What's going on? What's going on? And the day we pull out, it's going to explode. We're keeping the lid on a little bit. It's still a catastrophe. But the day we pull out, because they're in a civil war, whether we want to admit it or not, they're in a civil war.
What do you think of some of these scandals that are unfolding in Washington right now? As we speak, the Attorney General is under fire, Alberto Gonzales. What do you make of this as an executive trying to watch an administration?
Look, everything in Washington has been a lie. Weapons of mass destruction was a total lie. It was a way of attacking Iraq, which...
And he used the word lie, which is so hard to get anybody in the media or in politics to even... They misspoke. They were taken out of context. What was this, the other one? It's another one, maybe a couple other ones. It's never the bitch lied. It's never that. It's always something else. But there he was saying it was a total lie. Everything that comes out of Washington is a lie. Period. Like just a 3-year-old could understand.
What do you make of this as an executive trying to watch an administration?
Look, everything in Washington has been a lie. Weapons of mass destruction was a total lie. It was a way of attacking Iraq, which he thought was going to be easy, and it turned out to...
Yeah, not bad intelligence. It was a lie. That's the other one they used to use. It was bad intelligence.
Everything in Washington
the other one
has been a lie.
The other one they use is it was a blunder. That one sends me. It's never it was a lie.
Weapons of mass destruction was a total lie. It was a way of attacking Iraq, which he thought was going to be easy, and it turned out to be the exact opposite of easy. He reads 60 books a year. He reads a book a week. Do you think do you think the president reads a book a week? I don't think so. He doesn't watch television. Now, one thing I know is that when I'm on television, I watch. Or I try. Because you do. Your own ego says, let's watch. Let's see whether it's good or bad. You want to watch, right?
Right, right.
He doesn't watch television. So he's on television being interviewed by you or somebody else. He doesn't watch. Does anybody really believe that? Now they're doing this whole scandal with the U.S. attorneys. Now they're finding emails. And it's proven to be a lie. Everything's a lie. It's all a big lie.
That's it. That's it. Now, where's this guy? Why couldn't he have come in? Why couldn't he have come in and said, look, this whole thing with Israel is a whole lie. Fine, you were attacked. You got your revenge, for maybe the first day or something. Put it into it and be over it. And he could have spoken more truth to it about how they've occupied and they, and all of this. And where did this guy go? I would have voted for him. Where did he go? Then he pivoted to, Barack's birth certificate, and he started going down that path, and I don't know if he just got full of himself, like, because he wanted to be popular, and I don't know where that came in, because he was already popular enough. He had the #1 show on television. What? But now, illustrating more of how they've either replaced this guy, or he's had amnesia, or they've replaced his brain or something. See this now. Here he was being interviewed by Anderson Cooper. This is I think it said 9 years ago. Yeah, it's 9 years ago. And here he was making the following statement.
Do you think Islam is at war with the West?
I think Islam hates us.
Boom. Well, just hear it again.
Do you think Islam is at war with the West?
I think Islam hates us.
And by the way, it's a double evil from Anderson Cooper's bitch ass, because he's saying Islam, not Muslims, Islam. So he's just gone past trying to mask as if they're trying to, no, let's just go straight to the faith. You never hear them say, do you think Judaism hates us? You think Judaism is at war with us? But when it comes to Muslims, this is the games that they play. And Anderson Cooper is supposed to be allegedly a journalist. Allegedly.
Do you think Islam is at war with the West?
Islam is at war with the West. That's like saying, do you think that the ink on a piece of paper hates the Xerox machine? Do you think the ink on the paper hates the Xerox machine? Yeah, come on. This is that.
Do you think Islam is at war with the West?
I think Islam hates us. There's something there that there's a tremendous hatred there. There's a tremendous hatred. We have to get to the bottom of it. There is an unbelievable hatred of us.
Probably because you've been bombing Islamic countries and villainizing them and their faith since before most of us here on this damn video have been alive. We just don't know why. We've killed off most of their families and their children. We've starved them. We've purposely caused famines and destabilization in their countries. We've did them. I don't know why they would hate us. I mean, there's something there that we have to get to the bottom of, because it's such a hocus pocus mystery. We just don't know. I mean, it's more complicated than pulling a rabbit out of a hat. I mean, I just don't know how they do it. It's just all such a mystery. Ooh, it's all mystery. Ooh, mystery.
Do you think Islam is at war with the West?
I think Islam hates us. There's something there that there's a tremendous hatred there.
That we don't know what it could be or why it would be.
There's a tremendous hatred. We have to get to the bottom of it. There is an unbelievable hatred of us.
In Islam itself?
In Islam itself, everybody, again, the faith, like as if it's in the book somewhere, or if it's in the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. Hey, come on.
You're going to have to figure that out, okay? You'll get another Pulitzer, right? But you're going to have to figure that out. But there is a tremendous hatred, and we have to be very vigilant. We have to be very careful. And we can't allow people coming into this country who have this hatred of the United States.
I guess the question is...
And of people that are not Muslim.
I guess the question is there a war between the West and radical Islam, or is there a war between the West and Islam
It's
itself?
radical, but it's very hard to define.
Watch this now. This is very important. The question and the answer.
Is there a war between the West and radical Islam, or is there a war between the West and Islam
It's
itself?
radical, but it's very hard to define. It's very hard to separate because you don't know who's who.
It's hard to separate because you don't know who is who. You heard it spoken right out of the face of the demon. Because this is what's happening to Judaism now. This is what's happening to them. Most people don't know that Zionists are not Jews. They don't know that. They don't know that Zionism is absolutely antithetical to every single thing that is Judaism. Period. They don't know that people who are Orthodox Jews who follow their faith deliberately and passionately and obediently and consistently and all that stuff, they don't know that those people are not the same as these little hats you see up on TV calling somebody anti-Semitic every 5 minutes, that they are the ones that are pushing this genocide, etc., etc., etc. Half the people don't, most of the people don't know that. Especially in America, because America is the dumbest population of people assembled anywhere on the planet. The dumbest. The dumbest. If it doesn't come out of the TV, they don't know it. So it has become hard to separate. You don't know who's who. So therefore, the number is growing, even as I speak, of people who hate all of them. Because they think they're all the same. And who could blame them? So there he is saying, we don't know, because you don't know who's who. When he asks you, think, is it just radical Islam, which there's no such thing, or just Islam in general? And Anderson Cooper is nothing but a Zionist shill anyway, himself, and a moist booty, because as a journalist, he should know the answer to all of this. He's been a seasoned journalist for how many years? For as long as I can remember. I don't remember not knowing who he was. And so this entire line of questioning was nothing but rhetoric. Because the answer is, and a 3-year-old could see it, no shade to 3-year-olds, but a 3-year-old could see that, yeah, if you've been attacking these people since most of us have been alive, since before most of us have been alive, they don't like your ass. Yeah, they hate you. Same thing with these fake-ass people in the land heist. You've stolen these people's land. You've put them in open-air prisons. You attack them every single day. You've killed millions of their people over the decades, not just the 60-something thousand plus that you've killed this time around. And you're shocked that they hate you? You think you would ever get rid of Hamas when you're creating a Hamas every damn day? And not just there. There's people all across the earth that would give their last dollar to be over there to fight their ass for the Palestinians. Because people around the world are just sick and tired of it and see through the bullshit. You're attacking these people simply because you don't want them there. You never wanted them there. That was never your intention when they welcomed you with open arms when you brought your pelican-nosed white asses there. Now you want to act like you don't know why they would dislike you and they're so unjustified to hate you or want to attack you or some shit. I can't. But you heard him say there. We'll just hear it again. Say it again.
You think Islam is at war with the West?
I think Islam hates us.
Boom. Now, hear this.
On the issue of Islam and its attitude toward the West, you said you believe, if I heard you right tonight, most people in the Islamic faith.
I didn't say most.
What do you feel?
I just said.
Break that down for Americans.
I don't want to break it down. I just say there's great hatred. Pure and simple, there's great hatred. I didn't say most. I didn't say least. I just said there is great hatred. Now,
and as a commander-in-chief, how do you figure that out?
People can be.
See, he's trying to run from it there. He's trying to run from it. Why? I don't know. This is 9 years ago also. So it's the same time frame. And so why is he now running? I don't understand.
On the issue of Islam and its attitude toward the West, you said you believe, if I heard you right tonight, most people in the Islamic faith.
I didn't say most.
What do you feel?
I just said.
Break that down for Americans.
I don't want to break it down. I just say there's great hatred. Pure and simple, there's great hatred. I didn't say most. I didn't say least. I just said there is great hatred. Now,
and as a commander-in-chief, how do you figure that out?
People can be politically correct and say, oh, no, it doesn't exist. The fact is there is great dislike, there is great hatred, and it's a sad thing, but it's there.
As Commander-in-Chief, how do you deal with that? How do you, in your words, solve the problem, figure out what's going on?
I will figure it out because I find a way to figure everything out. Thank you, man.
Everything out?
Pretty much.
Everything.
Everything out. Now, mind you, before he was ever president ever, you see. So, you heard him in the interview with the shill, slut, albino thing, colorless ghost, known as Anderson Cooper, saying that Islam hates us. Then he was confronted there again. And this is 9 years ago. Wonder what he did 10 days ago. I'll just have to rub my crystal ball. Wait, there's a little dust on it. You know, but you just can't get rid of those dust particles. Just have to dust off my crystal ball. Because I need to look back into the past and see what, because I don't know. Well, let me see if I can do it. From the land beyond, because you have to rub it. So from the land beyond, from the world past hope and fear, I bid you 10 days ago now.
Good evening
appear.
and welcome to this magnificent iftar dinner, very special, as we honor the Islam.
An iftar dinner? What? By the way, everybody, iftar. This, for y'all who have been with me, I've educated my audience over the years, so you are among the enlightened. So you already know that iftar is the meal that we have during the holy month of Ramadan every night after we break the fast in the evening. We have what is known as iftar. All right? That's when you break the fast and have your meal in the evening and so on. And so previous presidents have honored this tradition in the past. They've had iftar at the White House, etc., etc. But here's the guy who just said to you that Islam hates us. All right? But there he is now, 10 days ago, thanks to our crystal ball, we were able to dust off and use it. All right? But here he is.
Welcome to this magnificent iftar dinner, very special, as we honor the Islamic holy month of Ramadan. Let me begin by saying to our Muslim friends, of which I have many tonight, and I think we have many all over the world based on the results in Michigan, other places. But I just want to say hello to all of the people that supported us so strongly. Ramadan Mubarak.
Wow. Unbelievable. Ramadan
We're
Mubarak.
grateful to be joined by Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi, thank you very much. Deputy Secretary of State Chris Landau. Chris, thank you, Chris. Congratulations, by the way. Deputy Special Envoy Morgan Ortegas. Morgan. Hi, Morgan. A very good friend of mine who I just endorsed, actually, Senator Lindsey Graham. Lindsey.
Bitch.
Congressman Abe Hamadeh. Ed. Thank you, Ed. Thank you, Ed. Good job. Counselor to the President, Alina Habba, is going to be the U.S. Attorney in New Jersey, very important. Great job. Pastor Paula White, my friend for a long time, and somebody that's done an incredible job with faith and all of the things that so many in this room stand for. Paula White. Thank you, Paula. And a person that Paula would have a hard time not being with, I would say Jenny would be about impossible for you, right? But Jenny Korn is here, and she's been incredible, the Faith Office Director, and right out of the White House, right? Jenny? Hi, Jenny. How are you? And a great friend of mine, Mossad Buras. Mossad, how are you? Thank you. I also want to extend a very special thanks to the hundreds of thousands of Muslim Americans who supported us in record numbers in the 2024 presidential election. It was incredible. We started a little slow with you, but we came along, and by the time that election was finished, we figured we went up like a rocket ship. So I just want to thank everybody very much for that. That was great. And in particular, I want to thank two great gentlemen, the mayor of Hamtramck, Michigan. Hamtramck, how are you, Mr. Mayor? And he's done a great job as mayor, and he's done a great job with his support of us, and Mr. Amr Galib, and thank you very much. It was such a tremendous endorsement right at the right time. Your timing was excellent. Thank you very much. And you'll be the next ambassador to Kuwait, and you're going to have a great time with Kuwait. Wonderful people, and it's a great place, so congratulations. Really terrific. You're going to love them, and they're going to love you. And they're going to love you. Thank you very much. Congratulations to, as well as the mayor of Dearborn Heights, Mr. Bill Bazzi. Bill, good job, Bill. And Bill actually is going to be the next ambassador to Tunisia, and that's big stuff. Those guys, you're very upwardly mobile. You're doing very well. That's great. You're going to have a tremendous time, both great countries, and enjoy it. Every day we're keeping our promises to the Muslim community. My administration is engaged in relentless diplomacy to forge a lasting peace in the Middle East, building on the historic Abraham Accords, which everybody said would be impossible, and now we're going to start filling them out because, as you know, Biden did nothing to fill them out. He did absolutely. We had the four great countries, and nothing happened. Despite the importance of the Abraham.
You know, enough already. When is somebody going to say, move on? You know, he can't speak for 5 minutes without talking about Biden. This obsession, really, with Biden. At some point, let it go, dude. Let it go. Damn. I'm over it.
Relentless diplomacy to forge a lasting peace in the Middle East, building on the historic Abraham Accords, which everybody said would be impossible, and now we're going to start filling them out because, as you know, Biden did nothing to fill them out. He did absolutely. We had the four great countries, and nothing happened despite the importance of the Abraham Accords. But I have a feeling it's going to fill out very quickly. It's already, people are talking already about it. They should have had them long ago. It should have been done. We're rapidly defeating inflation by reducing energy costs and even slashing the price of eggs by 50%. Doesn't sound like much, believe me. You know, when I got here, I was in 1 week, and I was being hit by the fake news media. They were saying egg prices have quadrupled. They said, I just got here. I didn't even know. I said, what's the problem with eggs? But the problem with...
As if he didn't know, like he's just being told there was a problem with eggs when he was the one on the campaign trail talking about he's going to bring down the price of eggs. I need you to know that just at Family Dollar, everybody, eggs are $11 at Family Dollar, please. Not at like the major supermarket and all that, before you even get to them. At Family Dollar, $11 for eggs. I'm over it. And he's like, somebody said, such and such. That's one of his tactics. Somebody said, I don't know, fake. I mean, he looks like an albino standing there, dude. No shade to albinos. It's just, I cannot.
Prices have quadrupled. They said, I just got here. I didn't even know. I said, you know, when I got here, I was in 1 week, and I was being hit by the fake news media. They were saying, egg prices have quadrupled. They said, I just got here. I didn't even know. I said, what's the problem with eggs? But the problem with eggs was Joe Biden. That was the problem. He let them get out of control. And as you probably saw last month, they went down 35%, and the quantity is so much that, I don't know, I think they're going to go down a lot further. We have a total of over 50% in a few weeks, Lindsay. I'd say that's pretty good. And nobody wants to talk about it. Now they don't want to talk about it. They talked about it when it went up under somebody else, but when it went down under me, they don't want to talk. So we have to talk ourselves. If they won't say it, we have to say it, right? I learned that a long time ago. We're fighting for parents' rights and school choice, and we're stopping schools from indoctrinating children with transgender ideology, something which people of this room are not happy about. I know that for a fact, and it's a shame what's happened, but we're turning it around and turning it around at levels that nobody can even believe. I signed an order also, and I think very importantly also, in particular for people in this room, we're keeping men out of women's sports. Is that okay? Men out of women's sports. The Muslim community was there for us in November.
Wait. He said we're fighting for parents' rights with school choice, but you got rid of the Department of Education. Okay, I wanted to make sure we had the parameters. Just checking the parameters, everybody. It's just checking the breakers. It will go on because I don't know anything. What does the Jedi know?
Also, in particular for people in this room, we're keeping men out of women's sports. Is that okay? Men out of women's sports. The Muslim community was there for us in November, and while I'm president, I will be there for you. I'm going to be there for you, and I think you know that, and our two great mayors understand that. I said that I would see you.
I'm going to be there for you while I continue to slaughter women and children and innocent men in Gaza. I'm going to be there for you, said the fork-tongued white devil. I'm going to be there for you. Here's more money for Israel, but I'm going to be there for you.
After, and I saw you after, and I think you know that while I'm president, I will be there for you. I'm going to be there for you, and I think you know that, and our two great mayors understand that. I said that I would see you after, and I saw you after, and I think you're doing better than we are. You're doing better than anybody. So it's so great. I'm so glad you're here. But as we approach the end of Islamic holy month of Ramadan, we're also deeply honored to be joined by many of the international friends and partners, including the ambassador from Saudi Arabia to the United States, a very, very special woman, Princess Rima. Princess, thank you. Thank you, Princess. So say hello to everybody. It's great to see you. Thanks as well to the ambassadors and chiefs of mission from the United Arab Emirates, from Jordan, Egypt, Kuwait, Qatar, Pakistan, Malaysia, Brunei, Bahrain, Iraq, Oman, Morocco, Indonesia, Algeria, Djibouti, Cameroon, Lebanon, Nigeria, Guinea, Tanzania, Kenya, the Maldives, Libya, Senegal, Bangladesh, and we have a few others. I'm sorry if I forgot, but I am going to be in big trouble if I did. But that's a pretty good group of people represented tonight. Wouldn't you say, Senator? I think so. And we're greatly honored by your presence this evening. I just really want to thank you all. It's a special group. I look forward to it. You know, we have long days, not like other people that had this position. I work long hours. And I said tonight, after making 3 calls for people running for office, they call them teletown halls, and they're not easy to do. And I said, well, now I go home and can relax. They said, no, you can't, sir. you're seeing your friends from lots of different places, and that's okay. As soon as I found out who they were, I said, all right, that's okay. But Ramadan is a season of spiritual reflection and self-restraint. Every day during the sacred ninth month of the Islamic calendar, Muslims fast from dawn to dusk, deepening their focus on prayer and devotion to God. So nice. Then Muslims all over the world join family and friends each night and sundown to give thanks to the Almighty and break their fast with an iftar dinner, just like this one. This is what we have tonight, right, Paula? I hope you like it. If you don't like it, don't complain, okay? You're still in the White House, right? We're all in the White House together. So how bad can that be? So tonight we gather with the goodwill and the gratitude for God.
Again, he can be almost charming, dude. You know, he is such a contradiction, I guess is the word I want. Wow. Go on.
We have tonight, right, Paula? I hope you like it. If you don't like it, don't complain, okay? You're still in the White House, right? We're all in the White House together. So how bad can that be? So tonight we gather with the goodwill and the gratitude for God's many blessings, and that's what it's all about. This tradition exemplifies the beautiful spirit of all three Abrahamic faiths, the spirit that inspires us to seek happiness and
He meant Abrahamic, but what are you going to do?
the beautiful spirit of all three Abrahamic faiths, the spirit that inspires us to seek happiness and prosperity at home and peace for the entire world. We're all looking for peace for the entire world. When I was in Michigan, I met with so many leaders of faith, and I said, what about your attitude here, your attitude there, all of the attitudes and all of the things I heard.
Remember, I've told you over the years, and why he keeps mentioning Michigan so much, everybody, is because Michigan has the distinction of having the highest population of Muslims in the country. In the country. And Philadelphia has the distinction of having the highest population of non-Arab Muslims in the country. So, this is why he keeps mentioning Michigan. And you'll recall that back in 2016, I told you that Bernie Sanders would win Michigan when it was, oh, they don't know, the mainstream media, we don't know, and it's just, and we think Sniper Fire is ahead and she's leading and we don't know. And I said to my people, I says, listen, throw all that out. Here, Bernie Sanders will win Michigan, and here's why. And I'll come back and do my I told you so video. I told you would win, and of course after you won, I came back and I did my I told you so video. And I brought you an article that the mainstream media was putting out, like, ooh, big surprise, upset in Michigan, ooh. But they didn't really acknowledge it on television. You see, they moved to an empty podium of Trump or just anything but Bernie. Don't show anything with Bernie involved. For the love of God, don't show Bernie. Quick, show that pothole in the middle of the street. Maybe that's a story. Quick, show that ant crawling on a pole. No, don't show Bernie. Don't show Bernie. And so that's where it's at. And they vote as a block. You understand? They're not trying to be some individual and, ooh, I'm going to do my own thing and like black folks do. They understand what they need as a group, and they vote like that. So they get acknowledged. They get iftar dinners at the White House and all of it. You don't. You see? Reflect on that. Reflect.
Your attitude there, all of the attitudes and all of the things I heard, they said, sir, all we want is peace. Right? Remember, Mr. Mayor? I said, but I understand you don't mind death. They said, no, sir, we want to live. We want to live and we want to be happy and we want to love everybody. And I actually, it was a very inspirational period of time for me. And I want to thank you also for introducing me to so many of your friends. It was absolutely incredible.
I believe him that there when he says it was an inspirational time for me. I believe that as an individual, because you can't be that up close to Muslims, and the more you understand about the way of life that is Islam, you cannot be unaffected by that. You can't. It leaves a mark on you. It really does. And so I believe him when he said that very earnestly. Just there, hear this.
No, sir, we want to live. We want to live and we want to be happy and we want to love everybody. And I actually, it was a very inspirational period of time for me. And I want to thank you also for introducing me to so many of your friends. It was absolutely incredible. Thank you very much. To our Muslim friends, I look forward to working with each of you to achieve a brighter and more hopeful future. And I think together we're going to do great. You're going to make strides like you've never made. You have somebody in the White House that loves you. Thank you all very much. And now we'll have a little dinner.
You see?
Have a little dinner.
Have a little dinner. Have a little dinner. Have a little dinner. I mean, very charming, you understand? Very charming. Very charming. So, I thought it important to bring that contrast. You saw what he was saying with his full chest 9 years ago. Islam hates us. And there he is hosting an iftar dinner at the White House during the holiest time on earth for Muslims everywhere, and I speak for all 2 billion of us, and that is Ramadan, which is the 9th month of the Islamic calendar. I remind you, we're on the lunar calendar. We're not on this Christian calendar, everybody, which is something else that the Jewish faith has in common with the Islamic faith. They are also on the lunar calendar. They're not going by this Christian calendar. So it's very important to point that out. But I didn't want this to be a long video, you guys, but I didn't want to waste time either. You know, I could use this as an opportunity to share some knowledge with you and feed you something that would enrich you intellectually. But as I say, there's a lot of things that I want to discuss when we have our live event. I want to talk about, and I don't know if we'll get it all in the live, but I definitely want to talk about this segregation thing that I know went on over the holy month Ramadan. I want to do a dissertation of that. I want to lecture about Pastor Marvin Sapp's bitch ass. We have to talk about the twins that were murdered. Rest their souls. I also want to talk about Michelle Obama and her brother's new podcast, because I'm not liking some of the things that I'm saying from some of these paid what do you call it? Paid the word almost came to me. It's not opposition. I'll just call it paid opposition because I can't think of the word I need. It's gonna bug me. I'm gonna lose sleep over this. Even though it's 3:02 in the morning. Thank you very much. But anyway, that's just some of the things that I know that we have to discuss, and I've pulled some pieces for those presentations, and so we have a lot to talk about, you guys, and I miss you all. I really do. As I say, it's a bittersweet time, and after Ramadan was over, officially ending on Sunday, I've just taken the last few days to just rest and reflect, you know, and take care of some personal things and stuff like that. But I'm looking forward to getting back into the groove with you. And also something that I'm planning to articulate in this new year and just going forward is to present more content for you, and more scheduled events to give you a sense of consistency and reliability here on the channel. I think that that'll be enjoyable for all of us, quite frankly. So do be looking for me on Thursday. As I say, we will be live on Thursday, and I'm gonna try to make it a little earlier in the afternoon as I can. What I will promise is that we're not gonna start late. All right. So for instance, for all of my East Coasters, you should be looking for me before 5 o'clock. You feel me? It's 6 at the latest, goddamn. You feel me? But I'm pushing for 4 or 5 Eastern time, and so we ask that the universe will grant us our wish. I hope you've enjoyed this piece and that it has been of value to you. I love you all. This is the Jedi.